Hey guys, okay, so I'm back and I am here because we're going to be talking about are you leaving money on the table? So, one of the things that I wanted to kind of go over, wait for a few people to come in, but there's a couple of ways you could leave money on the table. And so, if you have an idea, I'd love to hear that in the comments of ways that maybe you unintentionally left money on the table or maybe intentionally left money on the table because sometimes it's not a good deal for you, like maybe it's a business deal that didn't go through. But the one that I'm actually thinking about has to do with follow up. So, follow up is a way that people leave money on the table every single day, and it is a huge problem. I have followed up with folks for up to 1 year, and that's sometimes to the other extreme. And I'm leaving money on the table because I'm doing too much work. So, what I wanted to talk about today was the appropriate amount of follow up and how that can actually lead to more income, better sales, and not just that, but also saving your time because your time is money. So, what we're going to talk about is about the actual follow up. So, if you've ever had a client where you've quoted them, or maybe they want to have a meeting with you and you were too busy at the time, or maybe you just couldn't get connected with them and just kept having to reschedule, that would be considered a follow up. So maybe you've got an email from somebody and they were interested in your services, but you just didn't email them back. Sometimes their emails get lost in the shuffle. Even though you did receive it, maybe you read it, it just didn't happen as far as you making the connection. So that is kind of the follow-up that I'm talking about. And the way that follow-up can really impede you is too much follow up. So, like I said, I followed up with people for over a year sometimes, ending up maybe getting their business, maybe not getting their business. And in those cases, it was something that ended up not being a good deal for me anyway. So, what I would love to hear in the comments definitely is if you had a time where you followed up and it was too much, because that's also another way, like I said, of leaving money on the table because your time is money. So, one of the ways that I've actually increased my follow-up this year is something called Active Inbox. And Active Inbox is a tool for Gmail. Now, if you think Gmail, okay, I'm going to get a little technical here. Gmail is the free service from Google. It's a free email service. I do not recommend it for business purposes. If you have a Gmail account, please, please, please get a professional email address. Having a Gmail account does kind of leave you open to people looking at your address and going, oh, that's not so professional because it's just Gmail, they know it's free, etc. So try and make sure you get a professional email address, and if you don't have one, come talk to me and I'll help you out. But Gmail is the free version. Now, Google has a version called Google Apps for Work, or Google for Work, and that is a paid subscription that business owners can use, and guess what? It's $5 a month. $5. That's it. I'm sure you can spare $5 for professional email, but you still get to use all the tools that Google offers and the nice interface and things that you're familiar with. So that being said, Active Inbox, which I'm going to actually post in the comments when we're finished. Active Inbox is a way that you can attach as like a little tool. You attach to Google, so it'd be Google Apps for Work, and it's $3 a month. $3, that's it, just $3. And for $8 a month, you can have not only a professional email address, but you can have this tool. Active Inbox is a way for you to categorize your emails that come in. So I don't know if you're like me. I leave things in my inbox that are pending, that are still being worked on. Maybe it was a quote I sent out and they didn't reply. Maybe it was someone who said to me, hey, can we meet on such and such day? And I'm still waiting to hear back from them if the dates that I sent back to them are going to be good. And then what happens is your inbox gets so full and so bloated that you're on 2, 3, 4 pages and you never see those emails on pages 2, 3, and 4. You only see the emails on page 1 because that's what you're dealing with at the moment. The fires, the new incoming emails, all that stuff. So what this Active Inbox tool does is it allows you to categorize the emails in ways that you would not be able to just using labels. So one of the options is they have a to read category. So I love that. So I get all these emails from these different organizations, and some of them I like and some of them I don't. And like their subscriptions, newsletters. And the ones that I want to read, I just put in my to read category. And then when I'm on a plane somewhere or I'm waiting in line somewhere, I just go into the to read category and start filtering through them because it really goes really fast. The other option is to have a section for employees. So if you have people that you're working with, maybe it's subcontractors, maybe it's actual employees, there's actually a section just for employees. And you can put all of their emails in there. You make one folder per employee, but it's not just having a folder with that person's name on it. Because if you've ever used folders in Gmail or the labels in Gmail or in Google Apps, you've noticed that everything comes into one folder basically. And everything is categorized basically alphabetical. So when you use Active Inbox, it separates things a lot easier for you. Okay, so there's a couple of ways. So it's helping you with the labels, it's helping you organize a little better. But the main thing that Active Inbox does is they have 3 pieces for their $3 a month, 3 pieces of the actual system that no one else does, that you can't get anywhere else. It is similar to some things that Outlook will help you with. If you're using Outlook for your computer, and like the actual downloaded version that's on as a program in your computer. But Active Inbox is basically the online version, so you can use it anywhere, which is awesome. And it goes with your email, so it's not necessarily computer based. It's email based. So the 3 things that it does that are amazing. You can actually take an email and say, I want to put a due date on this. So let's say someone emails me and says, hey, I'm not really ready to do this right now. I'm not ready to buy your service, but contact me in mid-October. Okay, that's months away. I'm going to forget. And even if I write it down somewhere, that's going to get lost in the shuffle. And having a note somewhere is not as good as having it kind of alert me, right? So you can put a due date on it. I can say October 15th, and that email is going to go into a folder that I cannot see. If I want to see it, I can find it. Obviously, Google has a great search tool in their email, but it kind of goes away. It's not in my face. It's not in my inbox. But on October 15th, it is going to pop back up at the top of my inbox, the very top. Now, if I'm supposed to contact that person on the 15th, I might want to say October 11th or October 13th instead. So I kind of get a little bit of time, like, okay, looking at that email, it pops up on the 11th, and now I know that on the 15th is when they said in their email to contact them. So you want to kind of use it that way, but it pops it back up for you on the exact day. Here's another option that it does. You can also have a date on something, but let's say that person emails you in September, and they reply, and they say, you know what, I think I'm ready to do that now. So what about that October date? You don't want that popping back up at you in October because you're already working with them, everything's going fine. So you can actually say cancel if they reply. It's a little checkbox, that's it. So it's such an amazing tool that helps with follow-up. My follow-up has increased about 30 to 40% that I've noticed because I don't let those people fall through the cracks anymore. They don't get off easy. I actually follow up with them. And what you can do too is I actually can put dates on there, 2, 3, 4 dates, and it will pop back up at those time intervals. But then I don't have to wait and keep following up with them and wondering, did I follow up with them? Maybe I should contact them. I follow up with someone 2 to 3 times, depending on the level of connection that I feel with them. And that's it. And then I have another tool that I use for the end of the follow-up. So maybe I'm done following up with them and I'm thinking, okay, this is it. I'm not going to follow up anymore. It's going to be on them at this point, and I'm going to move on to the next sale. So there's a tool in Google, in Gmail, it's in Gmail, the free version. It's also in Google Apps for work. And it's called Canned Responses. I write a lot of the same emails all the time. So the follow-up, ending follow-up email. If somebody asks me about a specific date, if somebody asks me about a specific event that I have every month, I have kind of a standard email that has all the info they need. Maybe somebody asks me, well, what about this service that you offer? Instead of me sitting and writing this whole email over and over and over about all the benefits that my service offers, I can actually send them an email that I wrote 2 months ago because I already wrote it for someone else and I don't have to keep rewriting it. So canned responses allows me to take an email that I've already written with a subject line, save it, and when that person comes back and they say, I want to hear about such and such service, or maybe I'm, like I said, at the end of that follow-up, and I know I've followed up with them twice and they didn't respond, I send them a third email, and it's a canned response. It says, thank you for letting me know about your project. We'd love to work on it with you, and I understand that this time is not a great time for you, but we are going to be here, so if you ever need anything, you let us know. And then I give a bulleted list of all the services that we offer. Because maybe we just talked about web design, or maybe we just talked about coaching, or maybe we just talked about computer repair, but we didn't talk about all the other stuff that we do. We just talked about one thing for their one project. So I just send them a nice little email, but it's a canned response. I literally see that I haven't responded to them. See that they haven't responded to me. Notice that the 2 dates have gone by and there's been no activity on that. It's been popped back up at me saying, hey, this is your time interval. Do you want to, respond to them? I go in, I click canned responses, insert, follow up, email that I've already written, and send. 2 clicks and I'm done with that person. And then it's up to them to actually come back and it's kind of balls in their court at that point. But then I'm not spending a year following up with someone who may not ever be interested, really. Maybe they were interested initially. Maybe they were interested, for a time. Maybe things changed. But then I'm not spending all this extra time following up with them when they don't need me. And I'm following up with them at regular intervals so that I am not wondering if I followed up or, leaving it too long or calling them too quickly, because I've also done that as well. When I get excited about a project, I will follow up really fast, but then it doesn't give them enough time. So this kind of gives me a regulation of too fast, too long, and it really regulates the process. Then I know that those 2 times have gone by, time to end that conversation. We can pick back up if they're interested. From that email, from that canned response, it takes me 2 clicks to enter. At the end of the follow-up, it's crazy because I've gotten responses just from that, because then they go, oh, I didn't know you did this, or I didn't know you did that. So it's those 2 tools that are 2 separate tools. So Active Inbox is one tool for follow-up, and then canned responses is another tool. If you're writing the same email over and over, it saves you a ton of time. So my whole point in this video is to take your follow-up process and condense it and streamline it and organize it. Because if you don't have a process, then there is no business, and your business will kind of spiral out of control in front of you. So process is so important. It's people, process, and product. Those are the 3 most important things. And if you're good people, which I know you guys are, and you have a great product that you believe in, the process is what's missing in the business, and you're leaving money on the table because of it. So I want to share that with you guys. I do have an article on connectgrowsell.com about the 4 separate tools that I use to kind of get out from underneath the email avalanche. And they are all listed there, and there's descriptions of what they do. And this is just a really in-depth look at Active Inbox and what it can do. But follow-up in general, leaving money on the table. If you saw a stack of hundreds, $5,000, $3,000, $100 sitting on a table in front of you, and I could tell you that was because you did not follow up with someone, or they fell through the cracks when they emailed you, that would be devastating. It would be something so simple that you could do to fix such a simple problem that you didn't even really know was happening. Or maybe you did know it was happening and you just didn't know how to fix it. So this is the simple solution. Have a simple tool that you can add. For $8 a month, you can have your professional email address and Active Inbox, which is nothing compared to the money that you've been leaving on the table previously because of follow-up. So people, product, and process. Remember that the process is so important. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments. And then, like I said, I'll be posting a link to Active Inbox as well as to Connect, Grow, Sell, where I have the article of all the other tools that I use, including canned responses. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really enjoyed talking about it and trying to get you guys to see what kinds of things are actually happening in your business that you may just didn't even know were happening, or maybe you just thought, oh my gosh, it's just one more thing I have to do. Well, guess what? Simple, easy solution and simple, easy fixes are what Connect, Grow, Sell really is about, is not leaving the money on the table, but keeping your business running, but giving a really good process as well. So I will see you guys later, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to visit connectgrowsell.com for the article.